The dawn of your greatest chapter. Hey, you, ever feel like something big is coming? Like the universe is whispering, get ready, your best life is around the corner? Carl Jung, the genius who mapped the human soul, didn't just study our darkness. He showed us how to find our light. Today we're diving into signs that you're about to enter the best phase of your life, guided by Jung's wisdom. This isn't fluffy self-help. It's raw, real, and rooted in the psyche. Jung believed life's peak moments come when you align with your true self, facing your shadows and embracing your purpose. I felt this once, after years of feeling stuck. One day, everything clicked. I was ready to grow. Jung's ideas, like individuation and synchronicity, point to clues that you're on the verge of something extraordinary. Maybe you're noticing weird coincidences or feeling restless for change. That's no accident. This script is your guide to spotting those signs, not to predict the future, but to empower you to step into it. Picture this: a life where you're not just surviving, but thriving. Whole, bold, alive. That thought gives me chills, and I bet it's stirring something in you too. So let's dive into Jung's world and uncover the signs you're about to shine. Feel that spark? That's your soul saying, let's go. Chapter 1. A restless urge for change. Jung said transformation starts with discomfort. If you're feeling restless, like your life doesn't fit anymore, that's a sign. It's not just boredom. It's your psyche pushing you toward growth. I remember pacing my apartment, frustrated with my job, craving something more. Jung called this the call to individuation, the journey to your true self. That restlessness is your soul's alarm clock, waking you up. It's like an itch you can't ignore, urging you to shed old habits, relationships, or fears. Jung believed this discomfort is sacred. It means you're ready to evolve. I felt it before I quit a dead-end job. It was scary, but that leap led to work I love. Notice what's making you uneasy. Is it a friendship? A routine? That's your sign. Jung said, the greatest opportunities are often wrapped in discomfort. That line hits me every time. It's like a nudge from the universe. Don't run from the restlessness, lean into it. Ask yourself, what's not working? The answers might surprise you. Feel that mix of fear and excitement. That's your psyche saying you're on the brink of something big. Your best phase is calling. Will you answer? Chapter 2. Synchronicities multiply. Ever notice strange coincidences piling up? You think of someone and they call. You stumble on a book that speaks to your soul. Jung called these synchronicities meaningful coincidences that signal you're aligned with your path. When I was lost in my 20s, I kept seeing the same quote about courage everywhere. It felt like the universe was shouting, pay attention. Jung believed Tax said synchronicities are signs the universe is guiding you toward your best life. If you're seeing these patterns, it's a sign you're entering a transformative phase. I had a friend who kept running into people who inspired her career shift. Each meeting felt fated. Jung believed these moments aren't random. They're the universe's way of nudging you forward. Start noticing. Are you seeing repeated symbols, numbers, or opportunities? That's your path clarifying. Jung wrote, synchronicity is an ever-present reality for those who have eyes to see. That gives me goosebumps. It's like the world's conspiring to help you. Keep a journal of these moments. They're breadcrumbs to your best phase. Feel that wonder? That's the magic of alignment. Facing your shadow feels possible. Jung's shadow, your hidden flaws and fears, can block your growth, but a sign you're nearing your best phase is a new willingness to face it. I avoided admitting my insecurity for years, but one day I journaled about it. It was raw, but freeing. Jung said facing your shadow is the heart of individuation. If you're starting to own your anger, jealousy, or shame, you're ready for a breakthrough. I saw this in a colleague who admitted their perfectionism was hurting the team. That honesty sparked trust and growth. This isn't about self-criticism, it's about self-love. Jung believed confronting your shadow unlocks your potential. Notice if you're less defensive, more open to feedback. That's a sign. I felt this when I apologized to a friend for snapping. It wasn't easy, but it strengthened our bond. That courage is your ticket to a fuller life. Feel that strength rising. That's Jung's promise. Face your darkness, and you'll find your light. Old patterns start to break. If old habits or beliefs are losing their grip, you're close to your best phase. Jung said we cling to patterns that no longer serve us, but growth demands change. I used to overwork to prove my worth, but one day I chose rest. It felt radical. Jung's individuation means shedding what holds you back. Maybe you're saying no to toxic relationships or questioning outdated goals. That's huge. I had a friend who stopped chasing approval and started painting again. Her joy returned. Jung wrote, "What you resist persists. Letting go is your sign. Notice what feels heavy: work, people, mindsets. If you're ready to release them, you're aligning with your true self. That shift is like shedding a too tight skin. Feel that freedom? That's your best life knocking. A hunger for meaning grows." Jung believed life's best phases come when you seek meaning over comfort. If you're craving purpose, a career that matters, deeper connections, that's a sign. I felt this after years in a soulless job. I started volunteering and it lit me up. Jung said the search for meaning drives individuation. You might be drawn to spirituality, art, or service. That's your soul waking up. I knew someone who left finance to teach. They've never been happier. Jung wrote, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." That hits deep. It's like a call to your core. If you're asking, "What's my purpose?" you're close to finding it. That hunger is your guide. Feel that pull. That's your best phase taking shape. You embrace vulnerability. Vulnerability is a superpower, and Jung knew it. If you're starting to share your fears or flaws, you're nearing your best phase. I told a friend I felt like a fraud once, expecting judgment. They hugged me, sharing their own doubts. Jung said vulnerability builds authenticity, a cornerstone of individuation. If you're less afraid to be seen, admitting mistakes, asking for help, that's a sign. I saw this in a co-worker who confessed they were overwhelmed. The team rallied. Jung believed hiding your truth blocks growth, but showing it unlocks connection. Notice if you're opening up more, that's your heart expanding. I felt this apologizing to my mom for old grudges. It healed us. That bravery is your path to a richer life. Feel that warmth? That's Jung's gift. Vulnerability is your strength. You trust your intuition. Jung valued intuition as a guide to your true self. If your gut's speaking louder, urging you to act, leave, or stay, that's a sign your best phase is near. I ignored my intuition about a bad job once, and it drained me. When I finally listened and quit, life opened up. Jung said intuition connects you to the unconscious, where wisdom lives. If you're trusting those hunches, you're aligning with your path. I had a friend who felt a pull to move cities. They did, and found their dream career. Jung wrote, "Intuition does not denote something contrary to reason, but something outside of it." That's like a light bulb moment. Start listening to your inner voice. That's your compass to greatness. Feel that clarity. That's your best life calling. You let go of control. Control can trap you, but Jung said, letting go frees you. If you're easing up on rigid plans or expectations, that's a sign. I used to micromanage everything, but one day I trusted my team. It was liberating. Jung's individuation means surrendering to life's flow. If you're less anxious about outcomes, you're ready for your best phase. I saw this in a friend who stopped forcing a failing relationship. They found peace, and later, love. Jung believed clinging to control blocks growth, but release invites miracles. Notice if you're trusting the process more. That's your soul relaxing. I felt this planning a trip with no itinerary. It was my best adventure. That freedom is your sign. Feel that lightness. That's Jung's wisdom at work. You find joy in small moments. Jung said joy in the present signals alignment with your true self. If you're savoring small things, a sunset, a laugh, that's a sign your best phase is close. I started noticing how coffee tastes better when I'm not rushing. It's like life's brighter. Jung's individuation brings you back to now. If you're less focused on someday and more on today, you're growing. I had a friend who began dancing in their kitchen just because. They glowed. Jung wrote, "The moment is the pivot of life." That's like a warm hug from the universe. Start cherishing the little stuff. That's your heart opening. Feel that spark of joy. That's your best life blooming. You attract positive people. Your vibe attracts your tribe, and Jung knew it. If new, uplifting people are entering your life, that's a sign. I met a mentor when I started chasing my dreams. They changed everything. Jung said, as you align with your true self, you draw kindred spirits. If you're meeting folks who inspire or support you, your best phase is near. I saw this in a friend who joined a book club and found lifelong friends. Jung believed your outer world mirrors your inner growth. Notice who's showing up. Are they lifting you up? You forgive yourself. Jung tied self-forgiveness to growth. If you're letting go of guilt or shame, that's a sign your best phase is coming. I carried regret over a failed project for years, but one day I wrote myself a letter of forgiveness. It was like breathing again. Jung said self-forgiveness is part of individuation. It frees your soul. If you're kinder to yourself, you're ready to shine. I saw this in a friend who forgave themselves for a bad breakup. They started thriving. Jung wrote, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do." That's a gut check. Love yourself now. Notice if you're easing up on self-criticism. That's your heart healing. Feel that peace? That's your best life unfolding. You rediscover curiosity. Curiosity is a sign of a waking soul, per Jung. If you're eager to learn, reading, exploring, questioning, that's a sign. I started studying psychology after years of apathy, and it reignited me. Jung said curiosity fuels individuation, connecting you to your purpose. If you're drawn to new ideas or skills, your best phase is near. I knew someone who took up gardening in their 40s. It brought them alive. Jung believed curiosity is the spark of growth. Notice what's piquing your interest. That's your mind expanding. I felt this diving into meditation. It changed my perspective. That excitement is your sign. Feel that buzz? That's Jung cheering you on. You feel aligned with your values. Jung said living your values brings you to your true self. If you're making choices that feel right, honest, kind, bold, that's a sign. I turned down a shady job offer once, and it felt like standing tall. Jung's individuation means aligning with what matters most. If your actions match your heart, your best phase is close. I saw this in a friend who quit a toxic workplace to teach kids. They found purpose. Jung wrote, "Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart." That's like a compass for life. Notice if you're living authentically. That's your soul singing. Feel that pride. That's your best life taking root. You face fear with courage. Fear is a gatekeeper, but Jung said facing it unlocks your potential. If you're tackling what scares you, speaking up, taking risks, that's a sign. I was terrified to give a presentation, but doing it boosted my confidence. Jung's individuation requires courage to grow. If you're stepping into discomfort, your best phase is near. I had a friend who moved abroad despite doubts. It was their boldest, happiest chapter. Jung believed fear is a teacher, not a wall. Notice if you're braver lately. That's your strength shining. I felt this asking for a raise. I got it. That courage is your path forward. Feel that fire. That's Jung's call to be fearless. You feel more connected. Jung saw connection to others, nature, the universe, as a sign of growth. If you're feeling part of something bigger, that's a sign. I started hiking and felt one with the trees. It was profound. Jung's individuation deepens your sense of belonging. If you're bonding more with friends, strangers, or the world, your best phase is coming. I saw this in a friend who volunteered at a shelter. They found family there. Jung wrote, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." That's like a soul hug. Notice if you're feeling less alone. That's your heart expanding. Feel that unity. That's your best life blooming. You simplify your life. Jung said simplicity clears the way for truth. If you're decluttering, physically, emotionally, that's a sign. I purged my closet and felt lighter, like I'd shed old baggage. Jung's individuation means stripping away what's not you. If you're prioritizing what matters, your best phase is near. I knew someone who cut social media to focus on real connections. They glowed. Jung believed excess clouds your purpose. Notice if you're craving less noise, more clarity. That's your soul streamlining. I felt this quitting a side hustle that drained me. It freed my energy. That clarity is your sign. Feel that calm? That's Jung's gift. Simplicity is power. You accept imperfection. Perfection is a trap, and Jung knew it. If you're embracing your flaws, that's a sign your best phase is close. I used to hate my impatience, but accepting it helped me grow. Jung's individuation means loving your messy self. If you're less hard on yourself, you're ready to thrive. I saw this in a friend who stopped chasing perfect parenting. They became happier. Jung wrote, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain. That's raw. Growth isn't flawless. Notice if you're okay with imperfection. That's your heart softening." I felt this laughing at a work mistake. It freed me. That acceptance is your path. Feel that ease? That's your best life unfolding. You feel grateful. Gratitude is a magnet for your best life per Jung. If you're noticing what's good, small or big, that's a sign. I started writing 3 things I'm thankful for daily, and it shifted my perspective. Jung said gratitude aligns you with your true self. If you're appreciating life more, your best phase is near. I had a friend who began thanking their team daily. It transformed their workplace. Jung believed gratitude opens your heart to possibility. Notice if you're saying thank you more. That's your soul shining. I felt this thanking my mum for her support. It deepened our bond. That warmth is your sign. Feel that glow. That's Jung's wisdom. Gratitude is your key. You inspire others. Jung said your growth lights the way for others. If people are drawn to your energy, that's a sign. I noticed friends asking for advice after I started living authentically. It was humbling. Jung's individuation makes you a beacon. If you're inspiring, by example, not force, your best phase is close. I saw this in a co-worker who shared their sobriety journey. It motivated others. Jung wrote, "As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light in the darkness." That's like a soul mission. Notice if you're uplifting others. That's your impact growing. I felt this mentoring a newbie. It felt purposeful. That influence is your sign. Feel that pride? That's your best life radiating. You feel whole. Jung's ultimate goal was wholeness. And if you're feeling more complete, flaws, dreams, all, that's the sign. I hit a moment where I stopped chasing more and felt enough. It was like coming home. Jung's individuation is about integrating every part of you. If you're at peace with who you are, your best phase is here. I saw this in a friend who embraced their quirks and found joy. Jung wrote, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become." That's a mic drop. Notice if you're feeling centered, not scattered. That's your soul settling. I felt this after years of searching. I'm me, and that's enough. That peace is your sign. Feel that calm? That's Jung's promise. You're ready to live your best life. Step into your light. Wow, what a journey. From restlessness to wholeness, Jung's signs have shown us the path to your best life. I'm sitting here, heart full, thinking about my own signs. Those moments of courage, synchronicity, gratitude. You're feeling it too, aren't you? That spark of possibility. Jung's wisdom isn't just theory, it's a roadmap. You're not stuck. You're on the verge of something incredible. Start small. Notice one sign today. Maybe it's a coincidence, a brave moment, or a quiet joy. Write it down. Act on it. I did this, and it led me to a life I love. Jung's rooting for you, and so am I. The world needs your light, your real, messy, beautiful self. So take a deep breath. Feel that fire inside and step into your best phase. It's not a dream. It's your destiny. Thanks for coming along. Now go shine.